Bend the knee.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Don Willie coming to you once again from the North to talk to you about the former patriarch of the Stark family, Lord Rickard Stark. Now, here is a man who, although we don't get to actually meet him in the series, is a very honored mention among characters who loom larger than life. Not so much for his deeds, but because of the influence that his life and death actually had on the series. Now, he's the father of Brandon, Ned, Lyanna, and Benjen, and this is somebody who, with the guidance of his maester, helped to possibly bring down the Targaryens without his direct knowledge. Now, he was advised by Maester Wallace to marry Brandon to Catelyn Tully and Lyanna to Robert Baratheon. And before any of those marriages could commence, we had Robert's Rebellion, and Robert's Rebellion, directly affected the fact that we actually got the A Song of Ice and Fire series to begin with. Now, where you would think that, somebody as luminous as him was the reason for Ned Stark's, honor-bound persona, I think that would more come from Jon Arryn, because he was the person who fostered Ned and also Robert Baratheon in the Eyrie. Pretty much everybody knows the story about what happened with him, going to demand that Prince Rhaegar return Lyanna Stark to his custody. Him and his oldest son and heir, Brandon, being executed in the Red Keep in a very horrible fashion. And, although we don't get too much backstory, we hear that he was an honorable man, and we don't hear much in way of people having any quarrels with him. I wish we actually would have gotten to see him and just see what he was about, how he raised his children. Was he a great warrior? What was his relationship with small folk, the relationship with his wife? Because although we know that he was married to his cousin Liara, we don't know how that marriage was, and we're also not privy to how it was that his wife died. Hopefully one day we'll actually get more detail about Robert's Rebellion, or possibly a prequel series to Game of Thrones. HBO has the rights to do more, licensed A Song of Ice and Fire works. So, maybe we'll get Robert's Rebellion and, the precursor leading up to that with Rickard, Brandon, young Ned and young Robert, etc., etc. Now, again, although we don't get much on him, his influence and the alliances that he made are a major part of what drives the story in the present day. Because had he not made some of those alliances, we may have not been able to even get Robert's Rebellion, because you might not have had the regions of the Stormlands, the North, and also the Vale come together, and also the Riverlands. You might not have had those regions come together in order to bring down the Targaryen dynasty. Now, it's been speculated that the maesters around Westeros all collectively conspire to do this in order to bring down the Targaryens. No one can be sure as of yet. We may get a definitive answer in the book known as Fire and Blood, which I'm not sure if that's going to be out after the series is done, or maybe just before A Dream of Spring, but that is supposed to be the book that is the stories from Archmaester Gildane, which are supposed to shed a lot more light on the inner workings of the A Song of Ice and Fire series. So, anyway, you already know the drill. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That's been my time. Don Willie, I'm out.